So you're thinking about making a move here to Los Angeles, California. Well, today I'm going to share with you some of the pros and cons about living here. And I'll be quite honest, I've been here for 52 plus years, and I know some of the cons are not going to sound so great. So if you're looking for somebody that's going to sugarcoat it, I'm not the guy for you. So you might want to tune out and look into somebody else's channel for that. So let's get into it right now, the pros and cons about living in Los Angeles, California. Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is your first time watching one of our videos. I want to welcome you to the community. If you're looking for the most thorough deep dive, all things Los Angeles, well, this is the channel that does just that for you. So go ahead right now and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications so you can stay up to date on the current market here in Los Angeles. My name is James, and we get tons of calls and emails every day from people just like you, ready to make a smooth move to Los Angeles, California. We absolutely love it. So if you're looking to make a move here to Los Angeles, go ahead and get in contact with us. Shoot us a text, give us a call, send us an email, and we got your back. Making a smooth move to Los Angeles, California. So let's go ahead and get into it right now. I'm going to start with the cons. So Los Angeles is a very diverse, giant city, and as in any other city, there's lots of pros and cons. So let's start with the negative first, get it out of the way, and hopefully keep you attracted long enough to hear all the good stuff. So let's get in with the first thing right now. I've got my list ready to go, and we're going to get into transportation. So Los Angeles, like I said, is over 500 square miles. It's very large, and you're going to need a vehicle to live here. And with a vehicle comes lots of traffic, right? So you're going to have to understand that if you want to go from one side to another, or from west to east, south to north, you're going to have to travel a long distance. You're going to have transportation to get there. Now, you could spend a lot of money on Uber and Lyft, but I tell you right now, you're going to want your own vehicle at some point. It's going to be a lot easier. You might want to get a smaller vehicle to get in and out of the traffic, maybe a little bit easier for parking, but you're going to definitely need transportation. California and Los Angeles here in general, we do have lots of hills in some of the areas, so it's not like driving in a flat area either. So you're going to want to get, like I said, you're going to want to get something that's easy to drive, good on gas or electric, and you're just going to have to be patient and relax here when you come drive, because it's not like most other cities. So that's the first con. Get yourself some transportation. Second on my list is an extremely competitive job market. So we have lots of industry here. Entertainment industry is probably one of our number one industries, as you well know. It's Hollywood, California, and most businesses that are in entertainment are not just in Hollywood, but all throughout Los Angeles. So it's an extremely competitive market overall. You've got high tech, you've got Google, Microsoft in the west side, down in the Playa del Rey area. You've got all the different Sony Pictures and all the different entertainment companies all throughout Culver City, Hollywood, LA, Burbank. So job market here is extremely competitive. We've got millions of people living in Los Angeles just alone. So think about it and how competitive it's going to be. So you got to be on your A game if you want to get a job here, depending on what kind of career you have or what kind of position they're looking for. So that's the second con here I want to discuss. Third is the overall cost here is roughly 43% more than the nation, right? So overall, it's about 43% higher than the entire nation. And you're going to have to understand before moving here, which I've discussed in other videos, which you can watch, that in order to survive here, you're going to have to make probably a little bit more money than what you're used to. So understand that the housing costs, food, groceries, gas. I mean, just the other day, I spent $100 in my vehicle to fill up my truck, and that was about a 26-gallon tank. So about a little over $4 a gallon. Most places are actually about $4.50 right now, the average gas. So understand that the overall cost here, especially for housing and everything else, is extremely high, and consider that before making a move. So that's the third con. Next on my list is crime. We have a lot of crime here, like any other cities, but you're going to want to stay out of areas such as, let's say, Compton, Southgate. Now, it's not to degrade those areas, but there's a lot of crime in those areas, and you can look on crime charts to see where the high concentrated areas are. Now, because Los Angeles is so diverse and there's so many people here, you're going to have higher crime rates, of course, where there's more people. But you're going to find in the South LA area there's a lot of crime. Now, also like in areas in the San Fernando Valley, which is the suburbs of Los Angeles, you're going to also have high crime rates in certain areas there too. North Hollywood has some high crime rates, but just in general, where there's low income, you're going to have more crime. So understand that's a big negative here. And like I said, it's not to degrade any one area in general. A lot of these areas are actually coming up, such as Compton and Southgate and areas like that. They are trying to do better, but as of right now, as we speak, those are high crime rate areas. So next on my list is something I mentioned just a minute ago with transportation is going to be your parking. So parking here is a real drag. So I'm concentrating mainly on about a 15-mile radius from downtown Los Angeles. And so with that being said, you have a lot of parking in areas that have meter parking. Also, you have a lot of one-way streets, especially downtown Los Angeles. Downtown LA has lots of one-way streets. So that's something to consider too. Parking is very difficult in many areas where you have meter parking. So of course, meter parking, that's timed parking. And a lot of street sweepers come by too. So you have to read the signs, and it could be very expensive. If you get a parking ticket, I personally have had probably about 5 parking tickets in my life, living here in Los Angeles in the 52 years. And they're quite expensive, especially if you forget to pay them. So parking can be a real drag. Next on my list is traffic. So traffic, parking, transportation, they kind of all go together. But traffic, obviously, as you probably know, with millions of people, you have thousands and thousands and thousands of cars, right? Not everybody has a car here, but traffic is a nightmare here for the most part, especially during rush hour times. And now, it used to be in the morning from about 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. and about 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at night. That doesn't even matter anymore. You could drive anywhere in Los Angeles County right now during the day, on the weekend, and you'll have extreme traffic. So give yourself a lot of extra time. It's not like other cities. Traffic is a nightmare here, especially when it's bad. When there's accidents, of course, or there's, like, let's say, fires, anything of that nature, it's bad. So consider the traffic here. When you move here, is that something that you're going to have to adjust for? And last on my list is the homelessness. So California has recently been in the news a lot for its homelessness. And there are tons of homeless people all throughout Los Angeles County. Now, some of the areas that are really, really bad, of course, is the downtown area. And, when you get in the area of downtown, you're going to see tons of streets down there that have tent cities, if you will, lined up across the streets, overpasses. You can't miss them. It's horrible. The homeless sometimes walk in front of your cars. They don't, they're not cognizant of what's going on. So you're gonna have to be really aware of them. Places like Venice Beach has become a total nightmare. A lot of people are scared to even walk there during the day because the homeless are getting aggressive now, right? So that's another huge area is Venice Beach. We've got North Hollywood as well. There's lots of homeless out there, off of Vineland, places in that nature. So consider that another thing for moving here. Hey, also, if you're liking what you hear here, go ahead and smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and ring the bell for notifications so you can get updated on everything you hear and see here on this channel. All right, moving on to the cons. So to the pros, actually, I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the positive things since we have some negative things there. Right now, first on my list, well, number one, most people want to move to California and especially Los Angeles because of our amazing climate. So we don't technically have 4 true seasons, like some places like back east, like in the New England states or other areas in the country. But we have relatively a mild climate here all year long, except for the summers are quite hot, of course. Now, if you're in the Los Angeles area, the Los Angeles area itself and downtown, it does have the um, uh, ocean to the west of it, about 15 miles. So you do get a lot of the ocean breeze that comes in during the early morning and evening. So the LA area itself is relatively mild. Like I said, most year round. The summertime can get quite hot in certain areas, of course, in the valleys and in the Inland Empire. It gets obviously well over 100. This is a high desert and dry desert area, so you'll have to consider that. Overall, the seasons here in California, especially Los Angeles, quite mild. We get our rains. They're occasional. We do get some though, and overall, though, most people live here because of the climate. So next on my list is that there are a ton of activities here to do, right? So depending on what you like to do, you're going to probably most likely be able to find it here. And so if you're into, like, let's say boating, of course, well, you've got lots of lakes and you've got the entire Pacific Ocean to do that. All sorts of sporting events, of course, in regards to activities. You've got baseball, you've got basketball, you've got football, there's hockey, there's tennis, there's soccer. So if you're into sports, you have all that accessible to you. If you like the arts, well, obviously this is one of the biggest arts districts in the world. So we've got tons and tons of different activities. And of course, there's a million places to go see. You've got Disneyland close, you've got Knott's Berry Farm, you've got Magic Mountain. So all those places are all relatively close to the Los Angeles area. So next, you've got a million job opportunities. Now, I mentioned that the job market is tough here, but you've got so many opportunities based on what you like to do or what kind of career choice you've made. A ton of opportunities, especially in the entertainment business. You've got startup companies, you've got tech companies. There's just such a vast plethora of amazing opportunities here. And so get your resume going, get all of that dialed in, and good luck to you when making a move here and trying to get a job. Next, what I mentioned just a second ago, there's all sorts of sports here. So we have pretty much every kind of sport you can think of. Like I said, football, basketball, baseball, soccer, hockey, tennis. You've got everything imaginable. And because of our great weather, anything outdoors, you can pretty much play almost all year round. Obviously, with hockey, that's something that I actually enjoy. I play hockey out here with my oldest son, and that's something that we enjoy. And there's actually lots of rinks now that are accessible. But you've got, like I said, if you're into tennis or baseball, anything like that, you've got tons and tons of areas you can play, and they've got lots of parks for you to enjoy that as well. So that's something to look forward to when moving here. Next on my list is you have your overall lifestyle. So most of Los Angeles is pretty laid back. Most people here are laid back in that sense, where it's a healthy environment. Most of Los Angeles is pretty health conscious nowadays. So the overall lifestyle here is pretty chill. I know that's a lot of like what the younger generation says. So you've got like I said, you've got tons of miles of beaches. People like to just hang out, chill out down there. Overall, it's a really great lifestyle. And depending on what kind of lifestyle you're looking for, well, you'll probably find it right here in Los Angeles. So next on my list is food. So we've got a ton of eateries here. Los Angeles is being known as one of the more diverse areas with their eateries and restaurants nowadays, especially high-end ones. So whether you're a connoisseur of meat, or you're a vegan or vegetarian, whatever the case is, you're going to find it here. And like I said, most areas here are very health conscious. A lot of the restaurants have now vegan and vegetarian menus, or items on the menu that can help you out, so you can make that healthy choice if that's what you wish. So You can't go wrong here with the food. And lastly on my list is going to be obviously the attractions. So what I mentioned, we've got tons of attractions here. Really based on what you do, there's not much you can't find here. So like I mentioned, you've got the attractions like amusement parks, Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, things in that nature. And you've got Universal Studios, Magic Mountain. Those are all relatively close to the Los Angeles area. Of course, you've got the beaches to go to. You've got different venues in terms of theaters and arts. There's just so many attractions here overall. Really all depends on what you're looking for, what you're into, and you can't miss out on that. So that is it with the pros and cons. So if you're looking to make a move to Los Angeles, well, the only way we can help you is that if you reach out to us. So go ahead, shoot us a text, give us a call, send us an email, jump on our calendar. If you're looking to make a smooth move to Los Angeles, we got your back. So until the next video, we'll catch you then.